All right, good morning. It is Magic Week, and I am so excited to jump in today. But I want to hear from y'all before we get started. I want to hear how your January has been so far. So, if it has just been like exactly what you hoped it would be, I want you to drop a one in the comments. If it has been nothing like you hoped it would be, I want you to drop a two in the comments. And if you're like, it's kind of been middle of the road, drop a three in the comments. I want to hear from you. Kim, one. Okay. Better than expected. I love it. Four. Yes, Rachel. Absolutely. I'm with you on the four range, man. I'm with you. Two. Okay. Yep. Okay. So that's actually what I wanted to talk about today. Because after talking with my team and actually talking with people from other teams, there is a lot of people feeling the two right now. Jennifer, that's incredible. That is amazing, sister. And I want to speak to that because January I have discovered is either one way or the other. It's kind of like December. Like December for me was beyond expectation. It was awesome. I had so much momentum going into January. I was feeling it. And then January has been like crickets. And it's hard. It's hard not to get into your own head, right? It's hard to not let yourself get frustrated and feel overwhelmed and feel like what is happening when you've set this like we're going into a new year and we felt all this excitement and then it's like, okay, well where is everybody? Right? And if you're anything like me and you've sent a ton of messages, and I've been in several great conversations where I had several people who were ready to jump in, and then you get a message like I got last night where she's literally at checkout. We've talked all month. She's like, "Okay, I'm ready. Let's go." And then she goes to checkout and she's like, "Hey, I've decided I'm not going to order." I was like, "Okay." I said, "Well, do you mind if I ask if there's anything that, changed your mind?" And she was just like, "No." "Okay." I said, "Well, I'm here. I would love to help you whenever you're ready, get started." But I'm not going to lie, even though I pushed through that and I had that conversation and I didn't just like, fall off, inside I was like, ugh, like after a month of, you know, it being awesome to a month of like silence and then finally like, okay, I've got my first, I'm rocking and rolling and then nothing. And it's frustrating, right? So I wanted to talk about, the leaders that we have in our company. They are where they are because they showed up even when they didn't feel like it. They showed up even in the months that there were crickets, and I promise you, they've all had them. I have yet to talk to a leader in our company who hasn't said, yeah, I've had a month where it was like crickets, where there was nothing and it was frustrating. I set a big goal for myself that month, and then guess what? I didn't even come anywhere close to what I thought I was going to do, right? So, what was different? They chose to show up anyway. They chose to push past their emotions of how they were feeling in the moment, that feeling of rejection, that feeling of, I don't feel like showing up, I'm not going to hit my goal, that bully inside of our head that gets to going, right? They showed up anyway. And I want to shout out Rachel for a second because I literally thought to myself last night, sister is a freaking badass because she ended up in the hospital again for surgery and was still working. She was still showing up. She literally, I thought to myself, she got out of the hospital. Yeah, he took her appendix and she was like, "Oh, you took my appendix? I had no idea." Well, yeah. And yet she still did it. She was still working. She was still sharing. When we make a choice to look for opportunity in the midst of what feels icky, that is what sets the people apart who are successful in this business. It's that they choose to look for opportunity in those moments. It would have been very easy for Rachel, especially after how many surgeries she's had, to just be like, you know what? I'm tapping out this time. I'm just going to lay here and I'm just going to chill and I'm just going to be frustrated and all the things. But instead, she chose to use that frustration that she was feeling and she channeled it and she used it as, okay, what opportunity may I have here? How can I use this for good? Right? We had, my husband and I are trying really, really hard. You may have seen this in my stories. We're trying really, really hard right now to really get on track. We're doing the Dave Ramsey thing. We're trying to get budget wise because my husband took a new job and it is all over the board right now. Some months are good, some months like there's not even any work. And we have to literally know down to the dollar what is coming in and what is coming out because we never know what months are going to be quiet. And so we've been so good about tracking and being tight and okay, we've got all the things. And then we came home from his last job and I needed brakes and rotors on my car. And I can promise you, brakes and rotors were not in my budget on my car for my car. And I thought, okay, I have two options here. I can either be really upset and frustrated and wallow in the fact that I don't have it, or I can really press in. And can I tell you, that day, I got a notification from Plexus for almost the exact amount of what our brakes and rotors was that I got a bonus I wasn't even expecting. And I thought, okay, once again, the Lord has used this opportunity in our life to show up in a way that we needed it most. And I thought, this is what I need to share this. People need to hear this. People, you need to be vulnerable and be willing to share because I'm telling you, there are people out there who are struggling. I've had people message me this month who have said, I need $1,000 margin in my bank account. Can you help me? Yes, I can. If you're willing to show up and work, I can help you. There are people who are struggling. And so I thought, you know what? Instead of being upset over the fact that I didn't budget for that, I'm going to jump in and I'm going to tell people my company showed up again in a time that I didn't even know. I didn't even know I was going to get this bonus. And I had an extra bonus that covered my brakes and rotors this month. What a gift. People aren't always looking for the big stuff, guys. They're looking for how they're going to get from day to day. And if Plexus is helping you get from day to day, share that. They're looking for being able to pay for their kids' sports. They're looking for being able to pay for groceries. We have opportunities all the time that we're sharing. Plexus paid, your paycheck comes in. It paid for my electric bill this month. It paid for my mortgage. It paid for my groceries. People need to know that there is an opportunity that can help them. And I'm going to tell you, we don't always feel like showing up when we're in the middle of paying all the things and things are unexpected and it's like a whirlwind of a storm. We don't feel like showing up all the time. Right? Okay. So I love that tonight that Alita is doing the connect call tonight or the opportunity call tonight because I had already written her down in my notes today of someone who showed up even when she didn't feel like it. She didn't have a choice, y'all. She was widowed with babies and finances weren't there. Ain't nobody coming around the bend to rescue her. She showed up anyway and said, hey, there has been an opportunity that has been laid before me, and I am going to give it everything I have. I am going to show up even on the days when I promise you, I'm a mom of three, I homeschool. My daddy, who lives in my backyard, is in stage 4 cancer and not doing well right now. My plate is full, guys. There are a lot of days I don't feel like showing up. It is a choice that we have to mentally make. Alita made that choice of, I'm going to show up. I'm going to show up for myself. I'm going to show up for my kids. I'm going to show up. And I promise you, there were months that she did not hit her goal when she wanted to hit it. And she said, All right, new month, I'm showing up anyway. Magic week, I'm showing up anyway. If we let our emotions run our business, we will not get where we want to go because our emotions lie to us. Our emotions trick us. We have to be willing that despite everything that we feel, we have to be willing to show up anyway and say, you know what? Mentally, I'm not there, but I'm going to make a choice to show up. And Alita did that, which is why it is super important that you get your people on that call tonight because she and Jill are going to be a powerhouse. They understand this opportunity. Jill's husband was gone on, he worked in the oil field and was gone all the time. She literally used her credit card and didn't tell her husband to get the products. He literally looked at her last week and said, have you seen your paycheck this month? Even after all these years, he's still like, I still can't believe this. I still can't believe this paycheck. So get your people on that call tonight because I promise you it is going to be worth having your people on there. Message, invite your teacher friends, invite your mama friends, invite your homeschool mama friends. All the people, they need to hear what she has to share. I don't know if any of y'all watched Dude Perfect. I need to watch my time, y'all, because I'm on a roll this morning. I don't know if any of you guys watched Dude Perfect, but my kids love Dude Perfect. It is like the one show that like they know they are allowed to watch. They don't have to ask if they can watch it. It's awesome. One of the guys was recently invited to do like a NASCAR type race. And if you've seen these guys, they do crazy stuff, like crazy stunts, crazy things. They're always on. My brother has actually worked and met with these guys. And what he's like, what you see is what you get. Those guys are the same on camera and off camera. They're always on. And Cody, one of the guys, he was the one that they asked to do the NASCAR race. And he was all like, yeah, this sounds awesome. Getting in NASCAR, all the things. Dude is like 7 feet tall. What he didn't think about is the fact that these cars that they drive are like very compact. And when you get in it, it is extremely claustrophobic. And the heat, I don't know why they can't figure this out, but the AC in those cars does not work well. That's like the one thing that they cannot seem to figure out with all the technology. And so he gets up to the car his first day and they're like, all right, let's see how you can get in. And he's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, I'm claustrophobic. He's like, I can't do this. And they were like, well, if you're going to do this race, man, like you've got to. He puts on his helmet, he puts on his gear, he gets in the car and you can see his eye, like my heart felt for this guy because like he was sweating, like I could feel his heart rate, right? If you've ever been like a panic attack moment, we were literally watching him have a panic attack on live TV. And I thought to myself, I was like, all right, let's see what he decides here. Because these guys, like, he could very easily be like, I make millions. I don't have to do this, right? He could have just easily walked away and been like, I don't have to do this. And he said, I knew in that moment I had to do it because I was not about to let my mindset beat me. He said, I needed to show my kids that it's worth pushing past the fear and the discomfort and the anxiety. He said, it no longer became about the fun of just like getting to drive a race car. It became so much more than that. And he showed up, and I'm gonna tell you, like, there were several days where he was having panic attacks and feeling and all the things. And then it got to a point where, okay, he started to feel a little more comfortable and he started to have a little bit more uh just courage about him and getting in this car. And so then he was like, okay, I'm gonna probably be in last place, but that's okay. I just need to finish the race. Like that was his goal. Finish the race. And do you know that on the day of the race, he got in, he didn't have a panic attack, he did good, but during the practice round, he spun out. He couldn't even get around the track because he just kept spinning out. He could have been like, I'm done. I can't even get around the track. I'm not going to do this. Dude kept doing it over and over and over to the point to where he finally was able to correct himself, and he did not land in last place. He was not first, but he wasn't last. And when he got done, he was so proud of himself because he said, I knew I had a choice to make. I was not going to let my mindset beat me. I was going to make a choice to show up anyways and surround myself in my community of people who could help me do it. So not only was he saying, I have a choice to make, I need to show up, but then I need to surround myself with the people that I know are going to help me push through. The people who are going to speak life into me, the people who are going to encourage me and tell me, you've got this, you can do this. Something in me, when I watched that, I was like, the life lesson that he just taught that I don't even know that everybody's going to even catch. But for me, it was like, dude understands. It is a game. It is a mindset battle. He didn't feel like showing up, but he chose to show up anyway. He chose to be uncomfortable. He knew he was going to get in that car and probably have another panic attack, but he chose to be uncomfortable. We have a choice, y'all, of what we're going to do. Okay. I had several more things on my list, but I don't know that I have time. I did want to read y'all something. Oh, and of course my computer died. Hold on. Let me see. Can someone unmute and tell me if you can hear me when I'm reading this? Because I may go away for a second. Can y'all still hear me?
You're good.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, we can.
Okay, so Brittany Howard shared this, I think yesterday. And it's straight fire. So I'm just going to read it. Entitlement mentality is keeping an entire generation broke and miserable while complaining about their circumstances. Reality, no one owes you anything. If you want something, you'll have to put in the work. Diligent work. Day in, day out. Work when you don't feel like doing it. Work when your peers aren't doing it. And then learn to be wise with your money. Exercise self-control. Be disciplined. Earn, save, invest. Say no to yourself and repeat. You'll be different than people around you. You'll wonder if it's worth it. You'll be tempted to wish it was easier, and you'll have to fight against bad habits. But if you choose wise habits and combine them with diligent work, one day you'll realize that you feel deeply grateful for everything in your life. You'll feel joyful even through the challenges, because you've realized that it makes you better. Entitlement equals broken and happy. Ownership equals gratitude and joy. So I don't know about y'all. Go ahead.
I was going to say, that's fire when Dolly's getting on telling us how she feels about it too as you're reading it.
Yeah.
You know it's good.
That's right. So I don't know about y'all. I told my team last week, I said, stop asking for big promotions that we're not working for. We sit here and we're like, I want diamond. Are you doing diamond action? And then we get frustrated when things don't happen, when we're not hitting these goals. But if we're not doing the action, we have no right to ask for it. We have no right to be sitting there like, well, I don't understand why. I literally told them, stop asking for things you're not working for. Jared's like, yep. So how are you going to show up this week? Get clear on who you're looking for. Tell people. People don't know that you're looking for them if you're not telling them. I'm not looking for everybody, y'all. I'm a hairstylist. And I can tell you, when I was doing hair and I would have like the girl next to me go on maternity leave, I would look at her and say, do not put people on my book because they were crazy, right? I enjoy the people that sit in my chair. I love it. I've worked hard to get to that point. I don't have to deal with the crazies anymore, right? And I enjoy the people. It's the same concept. You don't want everybody. You want people who are going to be life-giving, who are want to work hard, that you're not going to have to drag, right? I talked to a diamond yesterday who said, I am done. Like he said, I'm to the point where like I know exactly who I'm looking for. I want people who are going to show up, who are going to do the work that I'm not going to drag and tell them, right? So who are you looking for? Who do you want on your team? I I had someone ask me, what did someone say that was finally for you like, okay, this is the opportunity that I need? Connie called me in the middle of a season that was really hard. And she asked me one question that was literally like a light switch went off. She said, you love the products. I know you're in a tough spot. Why aren't you taking advantage of the opportunity? That's all she asked me. Why aren't you taking advantage of it? And I gave her every excuse in the book. Well, and I had a lot of good reasons. I owned a coffee shop. I was homeschooling. I was still a full-time hairstylist. I was doing social media work for all these blah, 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 blah. I gave her all the reasons why I shouldn't do this. She said, what if you could take all those eggs that you have in a million baskets that's not, that you feel stressed, you feel worn out, financially, it's not helping you. What if you took all those eggs and you threw them in a basket? And what if it changed everything? That was what I needed to hear. I needed an opportunity that was going to allow me to be available to my kids. I needed something that was going to allow me to put all my eggs in a basket. It literally got my wheel spinning. And I was like, oh. She said, what if you could take everything that you know and help other people do the same? Serve other people in that way. Oh, are we saying that to people? Are we getting on our lives and our social media and or calling people and saying, hey, why not? Why not you? Why not this? Are we really having those conversations and telling the people who we're looking for? I have people that have started to follow me on my Instagram lately that I'm like, oh, yeah, I could totally see her on my team. Because I've been getting clear in my stories and in my messages about who I'm looking for. I'm piquing interest. They may not be jumping on board yet, but I'm piquing their interest because I'm getting clear about who I'm looking for. So that's how I want to end it. Get clear on who you're looking for. Show up even when you don't feel like it. Y'all have everything that it takes. You just have to decide if you're going to tap into it and show up and do the work. That consistent daily, it is consistency beats intensity every time. Every time. If we will show up consistently every single day, you will see the fruit. You will. But if we're just like in that intensity moment and then we drop off, and then the intensity, and then we drop off, and then we're like, why aren't we getting there? Consistency over intensity every time. Okay. It's Magic Week. Anything is possible. Even, I want you to take the rest of the month and I just want you to like throw it away. Okay. What happened this month? It's gone. It's done. We're moving forward. We have a new vision. We have a clear path for this month, right? We're going to show up. Even when we don't feel like it, we're going to do the things. We're going to send the messages. We're going to get clear on who we're looking for, right? You deserve to show up for yourself. You deserve to show up for yourself. And share about that cruise. If you're going, share about it. Tell people. Like, you can get in your stories and be like, I got a new outfit, getting ready for whatever it is. Tell them what's happening. Not everybody's going to be, interested, but somebody is. Somebody may be like, man, I wish I was getting ready for that cruise. Hey, I'm getting ready for this, but I can help you get ready for the next opportunity. Take advantage of even the little moments. All right. I love each of you. Have an awesome magic week. Cannot wait to hear how it goes. I'll talk to y'all later.